One woman stays in the car, talking with her friend over the phone. She is about to have a date with a guy she matched with on a dating app. Just as she is about to go, she receives a text from the guy, reminding her that the restaurant they are going to only accepts cash and, as a reminder, they will split the bill on their very first date. Now, the girl, Noah, is very disappointed with how the guy is starting the date night, but her friend Molly encourages her to still go, as maybe the guy is a funny guy after all. It turns out the date is terrible. The guy can't stop talking about himself and then proceeds to comment on how she's dressed, comparing it to the older generation when, according to him, women dressed more femininely. As dinner ends, he proceeds to take all of the leftovers for his brother in a very messy way, after making sure Noah will pay for herself. He completes the whole scene by talking with the restaurant owner in a condescending tone, assuming she doesn't speak English because she is Asian. They finally leave the restaurant, and the guy seems to be interested in her and wants a second date. But as soon as Noah says no to him, he gets angry and calls her a stuck-up bitch. When Noah tries to get to her car, she sees someone following her into the alley and gets freaked out. It turns out it's just a man with a baby. The next day, Noah meets Molly at the gym. After last night, she is very disheartened and doesn't want to continue dating anymore, as she prefers to stay alone rather than deal with unbearable men. At home, Noah enjoys her own company. However, she still scrolls through her dating app once in a while, and the men never fail to disappoint her. Realizing she's out of some food, Noah goes to a supermarket where a man named Steve approaches her and starts talking to her over cotton candy grape. He's clearly flirting with her and asks for her number. Noah tells Molly about that, and she is happy for her. A few days later, Steve texts Noah, and they set up a date. On their first date, the two quickly hit it off. Steve shares more about himself, revealing that he is from Texas and is here for his residency as a doctor in reconstructive surgery. They enjoy each other's company, come back to Noah's house, and end up sleeping together. The next morning, Noah calls Molly to tell her about what happened. Molly wants to stalk the guy a little. But Noah says he doesn't have Instagram and Molly thinks it's kind of suspicious. Noah likes Steve regardless. The second date soon comes, and Noah learns that Steve doesn't eat animal meat. After several dates, Steve invites her for a weekend breakaway alone with him. Even though Molly is against the idea as she has never met this guy, Noah agrees to the trip. Before the travel, Steve picks Noah up and asks her to spend the night at his luxury home, and they will leave early the next morning. Noah is amazed at how nice the house is. Steve gives her a drink, and she soon feels dizzy. It turns out he drugs Noah's cocktail, and she falls unconscious. Noah wakes up to find her hands chained to the ground. She freaks out and asks him to release her, but Steve flatly refuses. The creep explains that he is a butcher of human meat, which he both consumes himself and sells to wealthy clients. His clients prefer the meat of young women, so he regularly lures and abducts women on dates. He says that he will keep Noah alive as long as possible in order to keep her meat fresh, as he intends to surgically remove different pieces of her body over time. Noah is terrified and tries to escape, but Steve holds her down. At that moment, Millie tries to contact her to express her worry about Noah. Steve gets Noah's phone, pretends to be her, and answers Millie back with a picture of a spring, saying that she can't talk because the connection isn't good. Noah screams for help, and a girl in another room responds, saying she is also a victim. Her name is Penny, and she is now slowly being eaten. Penny tells her there are more women being held captive here, like Melissa, who has already lost her mind. The next morning, Molly uses Google reverse image search on the spring image and finds out it's from the internet. She texts Noah, asking her to call her immediately. At his home, Steve dances in the kitchen and prepares meat from Melissa's leg. He puts the meat, a picture, and some items belonging to the victims into boxes to send to his clients. Soon, someone comes to pick them up and deliver them. Noah starves herself. Steve allows Noah to leave the room to take a shower, but she tries to escape. Steve captures and knocks her down. When she wakes up, she finds herself on a surgery bed, and Steve harvests her buttocks as punishment. Meanwhile, Molly becomes concerned about Noah's disappearance and begins investigating with her friend Paul, a bartender who served Noah and Steve drinks on their first date. After searching online, Molly discovers Steve is actually named Brendan and is married to a woman named Anne, with whom he has children. Noah tries to gain Brendan's trust by flirting and pretending to be interested in the taste of human meat. She talks to Penny, who has completely lost hope, and tells her to stay strong. Molly goes to see and to tell her about what seems to be Brendan's affair. When Brendan gets home, he claims to have no idea who Noah is, even when Molly presses him for answers. As Molly is leaving, she dials Noah's number, and the sound of Noah's ringtone comes from Brendan's pocket. Caught in the act, and responds by knocking Molly out cold. Before leaving, Molly sent Paul in location and asks him to come over later. A scene in the shower with and reveals that she has a prosthetic leg, suggesting she may have been a previous victim of Brendan's. Brendan enters Noah's captive room with a plastic bag, inviting her to dinner and persuading her to taste a lavish meal containing human meat. Noah consumes the meal, pretends to enjoy it, but later vomits in her cell. Penny informs her that someone new has also been captured. Meanwhile, Brendan takes Molly, who is still unconscious, away for harvesting. Later, Brendan invites Noah to another dinner and gives her a pink dress as a gift. He serves her a starter made from Melissa and then shows her a hidden compartment filled with items belonging to his victims, indicating he has kidnapped and slaughtered multiple women. Noah recognizes Molly's phone among those of the kidnapped victims. At dinner, he serves Noah breast meat, which Brendan suggests might taste familiar. Noah tries to play along with his twisted humor but cannot hold back her tears. Brendan calms her down, and they dance. Afterward, Noah convinces Brendan to become intimate with her, and when he lies down, she bites off his member and then smears toothpaste on his face. She runs away, helping Molly and Penny escape from their cells. Brendan gets up and starts chasing after them. In the kitchen, the trio confronts Brendan, fights him off, and then flees into the woods, with Brendan following closely behind, gun in hand. Meanwhile, when Paul doesn't hear back from Molly, he traces the location to Brendan's house. However, upon hearing gunshots from Brendan, Paul retreats, fearing for his own safety. In the woods, Noah, Molly, and Penny manage to overpower Brendan once more. Noah seizes the gun and shoots Brendan, ending his pursuit. And discovers Brendan's body at the house and instructs the staff to clean up the scene. Molly's phone loses signal, and Noah decides to retrieve hers. She runs into and in the woods and tries to strangle her, but Noah defends herself by stabbing in the neck with car keys. As tries to attack again, Molly intervenes and fatally strikes in with a shovel. With the ordeal over, Noah receives a text from a man she dated at the film's start. A mid-credits scene shows 5 of Brendan's clients sitting in a white room around a table, with bleeding human meat at the center.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe and like for more videos like this.